Hi everybody, it's Christy from Funky Junk Inspiration. How are we doing this Sunday? It's Stencil Sunday. You guys, I'm going to be using this amazing, wonderful, cute little stencil from Essential Stencil. This says Happy Easter and has this sweet little bunny on it. I'm going to take this board right here, this surface that I have from Dollar Tree. I've had it for a couple years, trying to use up my stash, and we're going to put the bunny on here. Now I'm going to stencil him on here, but then we're going to stencil him a couple times because I'm going to end up making the bunny white, painting the flowers, and all that kind of stuff. So I decided on these 3 pieces of paper, and then I'm going to do one panel pink. So this looks like a fence right here. So what I'm doing right here is I'm going to measure each one of the panels, and then I'm going to cut my paper in my paper cutter right here. They ended up being about 2 7/8 a piece. Doesn't have to be exact because we're going to put something between each one of them. So, you know, nothing here at Funky Junk needs to be exact, but that's what we're going to do right here. And I'm going to measure the second one. We're going to do our pink gingham right here. And then here you'll see me do the last one. Okay, now normally we always paint our boards or our projects before we put paper on. We usually do that with white so that our paper and stuff will really pop. It's especially important with napkins and things like that. Well, what I decided to do was I'm going to paint it white because that one panel is going to be white. Now what I'm showing you here is I sanded off the little edges. I'm going to apologize. My dog has decided to play with his toy. So anyway, what I was showing you on the back side of that, what I will end up doing is I will end up decoupaging something on the back of that so it is a finished looking project. So I got my pink paint out here. The lid was stuck on pretty good. I haven't had it open in a while, so I decided that I would stir it up real good. I'm going to put that skewer back over there. So we got that painted on. I started with the small paintbrush, and then I decided I would just paint the whole back. I wouldn't just paint that one plank. So what I end up doing here is I'm grabbing the paint with the smaller brush, and then I end up grabbing the bigger brush so that I can paint the whole thing, and it goes a little bit faster. I don't know if it really went faster or not, but that's what we did. So I just painted the whole thing with the pink paint. This does take a couple minutes to do, but I'm just showing you. I just cover the whole thing with the paint. When you're using these paper boards like this from the Dollar Tree and stuff, they really soak up the paint. So when you're using a lighter color, a lot of times you have to put 2, 3, sometimes 4 coats of paint on to get it to cover. The way I could have fixed that was I could have put a base coat of like white down, and then the pink would have showed up a little bit better, but you know, hindsight, right? So now I'm just going to go over that one plank to do the second coat. I'm not going to put a second coat all the way across the whole stinking thing, just this one section right here, just so that it's a little bit pinker. And you're going to see me throughout this video. I stick my hand in it. I try to get a little chunk of something off of there and mess it up. I just had all kinds of trouble with that one layer right there. But, you know, that's part of the process, right? Now, this is Mod Podge that I'd put into like a ketchup bottle. And because I had it in a large jar. Now, my mistake when I did that was I had already had the large jar of Mod Podge open and had been using it. So it had a few little dry clumps in it. Well, it kept getting stuck or clogged up in my ketchup bottle or squirt bottle, whatever you want to say. So what I end up having to do was I just pour it out of the top right there. So moral of the story is if you're going to put your Mod Podge into other containers, do it as soon as you open it so it doesn't have a chance to get that slimy, snotty, chunk of stuff that's in there. So you can see here, I stuck my hand in the pink paint, so I had to paint that again. So here all we're doing is Mod Podging these strips of paper on. That's all we're doing right here. Just kind of lining them up. I'm going off the top, off the edge, and off the bottom, and we'll sand that to make those edges nice and crisp. Now, if you're wanting to know where I got the pack of paper that these papers came from Walmart. It was one of them like 555 pads of paper. I absolutely love it. Now here I got something on there, so I decided to wipe it off. So I'm painting it again. I don't know what my problem was today, but I could not keep my hands off of the wet paint. So anyway, so here, I decided to go ahead and get my edges sanded right here so that it shows our little picket fences. Just going all the way around with our little scraper, our little sander here. Now, I need a new piece of sandpaper on my little hand gator. I guess it's called a gator sander. And I don't have any. I need to put it on the list because I get to the store. Who does this? Who gets to the store? You walk back to the craft aisle because you know you need some stuff. And you stand there like a weirdo going, what was it I needed? Then you end up buying a bunch of stuff that you didn't need, but you bought it. That's me. What is that thing? Put a finger down, that kind of thing. Anyway. Go back to the project, Christy. Back to the project. Easily distracted. Right here, I'm just putting lines so it looks like picket fence. Now, I used a silver Sharpie because I didn't want it to be black. I just kind of wanted it to be, to be able to tell that it was 4 pieces of fence, faux fence there. Now, I can't ever keep my hands off of things, so of course I had to dry brush some of this pink paint on the top of this paper right here. So we went ahead and went across there. I think that just kind of softens the background up a little bit so that you know that you have all those flowers and that beautiful paper back there, but it softens it up so what we're going to put on top really pops and stuff. So I need to get that paint dry because we're going to lay our stencil down next. Now you can see there's a little booger there. I don't care. It's okay. It doesn't matter because when I get done stenciling, you will never ever see that. So I'm just kind of making sure it's pretty dry. I took my little sander, kind of went over the whole thing, scuffed it up just a little bit so it would tear the paper just a tish. So now we are getting our stencil out. I'm laying the stencil on here. Now I'm going to use this black paint. I bought this black paint at Dollar General. I'm not real fond of the Dollar General paint, okay? But I had never opened the black one. I kind of like the black one. It doesn't do too bad. I mean, I would compare it pretty much to the the normal chalk paint that we normally use. My mind's completely blank. But it's not too bad with, in comparison to that. It's a little shiny, little thinner, but I'm not going to complain about it. It worked for my project, and I'm completely out of the other. So you use what you got to have. I felt like I had to keep putting more paint on my brush than I normally do with the other kind, but that's okay. So what I'm doing is I'm putting paint on my brush and I'm offloading it because less is best when you're stenciling. You don't want big blobs of paint going onto your project. And if you notice, now I did speed this up so it's kind of hard to tell, but every time I go over to my stencil, I touch in a spot that is not, does not have the cutout on it, just to make sure that I don't have a blob of paint on the end of my brush and cause, a disaster, some bleed through or whatever. But I want to say this, nothing is a disaster. There's nothing that's not fixable. So if you have a little bit of bleed through, there's a lot of things that you can do to fix that. You can sand the whole thing off and start over. You can throw it in the trash if you want to, but I wouldn't suggest doing that. Sand it off, paint it over, re-stencil it. You can also wait till it dries and take a little X-Acto knife and, kind of flip that paint off where it did that or whatever. But if you are having trouble with any type of bleed through, make sure that you're not putting too much paint on your stencil. It's better to do a couple coats than to try to get it all in one coat. Okay, so now back to what we're doing. Okay, here I am painting the rabbit. Now see, I'm kind of using this stencil, kind of made this like a coloring book page. So I'm just going to fill that in with some paint. Now you're going to see me reaching over here and getting brushes, getting paint and all that kind of stuff. I should have edited a lot of this out, but I didn't. But I just laid a couple brushes down there. Now I started to go with that light pink for that little daisy that's there. And I decided I wanted some brighter colors. So as you can see, I grabbed this really bright pink. I grabbed this lavender color, and I kind of grabbed this mint color and decided those were going to be my colors for my flowers and my butterflies. You know, we could have gone crazy and did a whole bunch of different colors, but this is just what I chose. There is no rhyme or reason to the order that I'm painting these. I'm just putting some paint on here. And as you can tell right now, it looks a little crazy, doesn't it? It's like, you're not even staying within the lines or anything like that, crazy girl. But you'll see, we'll go back over it with the stencil, and it'll just put that border right back on, and it'll look really, really cool. Okay, so here I am with the lavender. I've done the teal, I've done the pink, I've done the lavender, and I did notice that I missed a flower over there on the left-hand side, but I don't see it yet. When I'm actually painting. So I grabbed some green to do my leaves, and right here's where I noticed it. I was like, daggone it, I missed one. So I told myself, while I'm painting this the whole entire time, I'm saying, don't forget the flower, don't forget the flower, don't forget the flower. Just so that I won't forget to go back and paint that flower, because I'm very easily distracted with stuff. So I do end up going back and painting it. I think I painted it the teal color, if I'm not mistaken. Right over there. But see, I'm not trying to be, stay in the lines. I'm not trying to be fancy. I'm just trying to keep it within what the outline of the stencil will be. Now, if I go a little bit over, it's okay. It's okay. Nothing in this world is perfect. Even things that you buy, you pay money for, are not perfect. So remember that. Okay, so right here I did his little nose, the pink, and then I did his ear, the inside of his ear, the pastel pink color. I think that looks cute. So I need to get that dry because we're going to lay the stencil back down. So here I am. I'm looking at the words Happy Easter right off the bat, okay, because I didn't do any painting around the words Happy Easter. So if I get those lined up, I know I'm good. Now I do kind of look up there at the butterfly where it has the dotted lines for the butterfly, just to make sure I was good there and all that kind of stuff. So now we're just going right back over the top of that. And I noticed right here when I was doing this and I went across that daisy, I was like, daggone it, I forgot to paint that daisy that the little bunny's holding in his hand. So don't fret, I do end up painting that. And I lay the stencil down for a third time to do that little daisy right there. You'll see me do that here in just a second. Now, you guys, I want to take this time while I'm finishing this up right here to thank Mary from the Painted Peach, co-hosting with me for this fun Stencil Sunday. We do this the second Sunday of each month. Oh my gosh, you guys, doesn't that look cute? So here I am taking some yellow. I'm going to make that little daisy yellow, so it's a little bit different than the rest of them. But I want to thank her from the Painted Peach. Make sure you go check out her channel. She is tagged up in my description, as well as the playlist for today's Stencil Sunday. We do this the first Sunday of each month. I think I just said the second Sunday, but it's the first Sunday of each month. So stay tuned for that. And if you are a creator that wants to do a stencil project with us, please let one of us know. And we can get you all the information to join us on our monthly playlist right here. Okay, so right here, all I need to do is that flower, because that's the only thing I went over. Okay, oh my gosh, you guys, I just am loving how this project turned out. I think it's really, really cute. It just makes me smile when I look at it. Makes me very happy. So right here, what I'm going to do here is I started putting all my stuff away because I was going to edit this out of the video. And then I was like, oh my gosh, Christy, you forgot to frame in your project. I always frame in my project, but I wasn't doing it. So I picked up a stencil brush and I put some of that hot pink. I thought that hot pink would be a good thing to frame my project in with. I thought that that would really make this kind of pop and make those hot pink flowers kind of pop. Framing your project in kind of makes it look like it's finished and done and all that kind of stuff. Now here I'm going to find the string that went in there. I need to finish poking the hole. I just thought you might enjoy just admiring the little creation here. I thought that stencil, I'm telling you, that stencil is amazing. I'm thinking I want to do this on a piece of drop cloth and make me a throw pillow with this same technique, this same stencil here. That bunny's face is just adorable. So anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and use the jute, the hanger that came with this. Now I want you to remember the back side, I will put a piece of paper on so it looks finished. So here's our finished project. Make sure you check out Essential Stencil. Use the code FUNKYJUNK to save at checkout. And please like and subscribe my channel. And again, I want to thank my co-host Mary from the Painted Peach for the co-hosting with me for Stencil Sunday. And I hope you guys have a great day.